Like you heard me when I read my speech at the council chambers, the practice worldwide is that currencies should be redesigned or replaced or reissued every 5 to 8 years. Excuse me. But for Nigeria, we have not had the opportunity of redesigning and reissuing currency in the last almost 19 years. The Central Bank of Nigeria, by law, has a mandate to reissue and redesign currency for the country and for the Nigerian people every 5 to 8 years. And I want to hope that after this, after the event of today, the Central Bank of Nigeria can just take it as part of its programs to see to it that within 5 to 8 years, the currencies are redesigned and reissued. It is because mainly the central bank should be able to have control, full control of the size of currency in circulation. That is the sole mandate of the Central Bank of Nigeria, because it has implications for monetary policy management in the country. There is no need for anybody to think that this program is targeted at anyone. Like you heard the president speak in the chambers, he said that the discussion to redesign and reissue currency started early in the year. We took painstaking efforts in looking at the pros and cons and the reasons when it should be and why it should be done. And the president, in his wisdom, decided that yes, it must be done. In the past, I have to confess that attempts by the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign and reissue currencies have been resisted. And that is the reason I also read in my speech that it's only a president of the esteem and stature of President Buhari that could have done this. And I want to see this opportunity to appeal to members of the public that there is no need for any insinuations giving the impression that this is targeted at any individual. There is no attempt at that. We're doing our work, and we would continue to do our work. Our policy of redesign and reissue of currency is not targeted at anyone. But of course, we have the laws, and we will indeed be more intense in ensuring that the provisions of the law and our CBN regulations about the size and volume of currencies that people can hold or can carry or can withdraw, that we would insist that this is done going forward. In other countries, you will find, say in the US, you want to withdraw $10,000 from the counter, you will be interrogated. You will fill numerous forms. They will even track the use of that $10,000 cash you are withdrawing. Or you want to withdraw 10,000 pounds from the counter. They will refuse, and if you insist, you will fill forms. I think the problem we've had in the past is the insistence that, oh, this is a cash economy. There is no economy that is imbued with the thinking that it has to be a cash economy. The world has moved away from cash, predominantly cash, to cashless economy. And I think Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria is prepared at this time to move towards a cashless economy. And that is the reason why, following the redesign and issuance of this note, we would go forward to insisting that cashless will be nationwide. We will restrict the volume of cash that people will withdraw over the counter. If you need to draw large volumes of cash, you will fill uncountable forms. We will take your data, whether it's your BVN, your NIN, so that security agencies like EFCC or enforcement agencies like EFCC and ICPC can follow you and be sure that you are taking that money for good purpose. We have to work as a country. Nigeria is the biggest country, both in population and economy in Africa. And we have to ensure that we do things the right way that also positions us as a leader in Africa and one of the leading countries in the world. We must do things right, and I think it will start from today. Well, it is in their mind when they say the time is short. We will not go with them on that destination. What we are saying is this. We announced this program October 26th, 2022. And we have said that from today, this currency that is issued will be legal tender in Nigeria or all over the world, wherever it is going to be accepted. So between October 26th and January 31, 2023, we believe that is over 100 days. Like the president has said, if you have cash, it should not take you more than 100 days to be able to deposit it in your bank and take whatever little quantity you need for your use. The banks, we have made adequate arrangement. The banks have been told that they will keep their currency processing centers open from Mondays to Saturdays, even to late hours every day. We have also offered that the Central Bank of Nigeria process currency centers across the 36 states of the Federation, including Abuja, 37, will be available to process cash from Mondays to Saturdays. It might interest us to know that on a daily basis, the Deputy Governor of Operations calls the banks, calls the CBN branches to find out if there are queues or if there are some form of congestion about people depositing cash. There is none. We have also made available through our agency banking arrangement people who in villages can use their POS and their stores to receive and pay cash. In 2018, we had 86,000 touch points for agency banking. As at October, just last month, the numbers of those who have financial system or banking system touch points, our agency banking arrangement has 1.4 million points. That means that we have made available, we are making available almost, so there is no local government where you don't have our agent bankers that can do this on our behalf. So it's as good as saying we have over 1 million points or branches of banks all over the country where you can deposit and take your cash to. There is no reason for anybody to think that he cannot access cash or be able to pay his cash into a bank. So we are not going to go with those people on their journey to say that time is short. In our wisdom, in the wisdom of the president, time is not short. We have more than ample time to do so. These currencies, these notes, they cannot be counterfeited because of the security features in them. Nobody can counterfeit them. What you could only find will be people making photocopies of these notes. If you follow due process to check the authenticity of a currency, take them through the UV lights, you will find that these currencies can never be counterfeited. The best you will find is photocopies of these currencies. And that's why we still call them counterfeit. But what I'm trying to say in essence is this. To reduce that incidence of counterfeiting or photocopying, that is why we're saying the CBN must now, without waiting, every 5 to 8 years, must redesign and reissue these notes, so that those who think they can take advantage of the system by counterfeiting will know that the game is over with them. Like I told you, usually those kind of volumes are not what we would like to disclose. Like we told you, 3.23 trillion naira is in circulation. Out of the 3.23 trillion naira in circulation, 2.72 trillion is outside the bank vaults. and we will insist that those 2.72 trillion naira should return back to the bank and central bank's vault by 31st January 2023. If you choose to hold it after January 31st, 2023, it becomes useless in your hands. That's all. Thank you.